Hello and good evening, you guys. Today it is Monday, September 28th, 2020, and I know it's been a bit of a while since my last video, but I thought I'd come back by doing a video to touch base on the Ottawa Senators finally bringing out the worst kept secret of the playoffs, or now this new off season in terms of logo and uniform changes are concerned. So not only has Ottawa's decision to go back to their original logo been leaked, but also now their home jersey has recently been leaked as well. So Ottawa doing a really quiet, mediocre unveil of their new, what's sold as new again, slightly tweaked original logo was no surprise to me. So now with the draft around the corner, I'm sure we're not going to have to wait a whole lot longer for the Ottawa Senators to unveil their return to their original uniforms, which I understand what people are saying. I understand how people really wanted to see the prototype logo that at one point they were considering for use at some point, this logo right here. But I don't know. I've always felt that this was a decent logo. I actually like the idea of putting gold trim on the wings here. It looks really good. They slightly tweaked the corners here so they're not sharp corners on these edges. They're now rounded corners, which it's a small change that you really won't notice a whole lot, but I would even argue from a distance you will not notice it at all. But I actually like the slightly updated logo. I actually think that when they go back to their original uniforms, although I would have preferred if they went with the late 90s version of their original uniform, which actually had some white striping in it, I do think the original uniforms will be a significant upgrade over what Ottawa has been wearing for far too long. And in my opinion, the Adidas Addy Zero jersey cut has only made Ottawa's longtime uniform style worse. Because when Ottawa switched to their current uniforms all the way back 13 years ago in 2007, those uniforms were built and designed for the Reebok Edge template, and then when they switched over to Adidas, parts of the design were cut off because of the new template, and it made it even worse. And those big, monstrous red Addy Zero collars on their away jerseys have been an eyesore since the day they were unveiled, in my opinion. So it's nice to see that these uniforms finally getting canned after all these years. And personally, my favorite Ottawa Senator uniforms are the Heritage O sweaters that they've been wearing throughout the past decade. But I will certainly take their original uniforms over their current crap any day. But what I've noticed quite a bit, though, with Ottawa's return to their original uniforms with a slight tweak, I've noticed they've been getting a bit of flack. I noticed that sportslogos.net and Aesthetics haven't been big lovers of the return to their original uniform, which I guess it's a matter of personal taste. But, you know, I understand, Chris Creamer, for example, saying that he wanted to see Ottawa do more of a modernization of the old uniforms or something to change things up a little bit. But I don't really, compared to what they've been wearing for the past 13 years, do I think Ottawa probably could have done something a little more interesting, a little bit better? I think they probably could have. I mean, as I just said, I honestly was hoping Ottawa would have gone to the O full time, and I know a lot of people don't agree with me on that. I know that. But, I'm just grateful at this point that Ottawa is actually going to be doing some type of uniform change that will actually be an upgrade over what they've been wearing for so long. So, I get it. This is not the change that everybody wants. And I respect your opinion if you feel that way. But I will say this, though. I mean, I think we can all at least agree that Ottawa is finally upgrading their uniforms once next season starts, which I will take an upgrade over nothing at all. It's not like Ottawa is doing some new crazy design with a diagonal sash and a monstrous gradient or anything like that. They're keeping things simple. Now, I don't completely love their original uniforms from the early 1990s. I'm not going to lie. And honestly, I prefer the O over the Roman Centurion uniforms and logos, but I mean, I think we can all agree this is going to be a significant upgrade over what they've been wearing for far, far too long. It's nice to see that Ottawa is doing something. You know, I get it. There's things about the return to the original logo that people don't like, but I mean, still, I think this is a big upgrade over what they've been wearing. And, you know, with Buffalo slightly modernizing their original uniforms, in my personal opinion, I know a lot of people are probably going to disagree with me, but I feel that the thin white stripes that they've added or that they've carried over from their last now retired uniforms for their new home jersey was a big mistake. It's backfired. I don't like it. They couldn't leave it alone. And do I think the textured logo is a cool touch? Of course I do. I think it's going to look great up close, and it's great to see Buffalo back in royal blue. But, you know, do I think they needed to add the little thin white stripes on the sleeves just because, we don't have any white anywhere on the jersey? No, I don't think they needed to do it. I honestly feel that Buffalo overthinked their original uniform. It was fine the way it was. That's why I look at their away uniform and I go, wow, that's perfect. They got rid of the redundant shoulder patch, which was their main crest on the shoulders as well. They got rid of that, and they added the texturing to the buffalo inside the crest. It looks great. But their home jersey, I honestly feel that they overthinked it a little bit. Even though I love that they've gone back to royal blue. Don't get me wrong. I'm grateful for that. But I just wish they would have left the white off of the striping. But with Ottawa, I mean, here's a team that's actually upgrading their uniforms. And I get it that not everybody agrees. And I get that a lot of people wanted this logo. Truth is, I agree with everybody who feels that this would be a great logo on the front of a jersey. I agree with everyone who feels that Ottawa needs to at least make a jersey with this as the crest. And dear Ottawa Senators, I hope you will listen. Hopefully they will bring out a new red alternate uniform in the 2021-22 season that uses this logo. They need to make it happen, as far as I'm concerned. But I don't know. I feel that people are raising too much of a stink over what I feel is actually a decent upgrade. I actually really like the decision to go with gold trim on the wings of this logo too. I think it's a small update that actually makes it look really good. And, you know, is this logo perfect? Ow, bit my tongue. Is this logo perfect? No. But I definitely don't think it's bad. And I'll be honest, I'm a little bit biased too because this has always been my favorite Roman Centurion themed Senators logo. I do like it a bit better than the prototype logo. But I do think that Ottawa's uniforms would have looked good if they went with the prototype logo. This one right here. I do think it's far too good of a crest for them not to use at some point or another. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit surprised and a little bit disappointed at a bit of the flack that I've been seeing the Senators getting for going back to their original uniforms. But obviously it's a matter of personal taste, and if you don't agree with me, I totally respect your opinion. I mean, as I say, if I had my way, Ottawa would have gone with the black and beige heritage sweaters as their home and away jerseys. That's what I would have done personally, and I know most people probably would disagree with me on that. And that's fair. But yeah, I definitely think that Ottawa going back to their original uniforms is definitely going to be a substantial upgrade over what they've been wearing for far too long. Also notice that these edges on this portion of their logo are now rounded corners. or the points are now rounded instead of sharp. I mean, did they have to do it? No, but it looks fine. But for me, the big thing is the gold trim on the wing portion of their logo. I mean, I do agree with people. This is going to be a big crest. But I will say this, though. With the new Adidas cresting technology that they do use now, I do think that Adidas will be able to make the crest pretty decent in terms of durability and in terms of it not being a headache for the players actually wearing the sweaters on the ice. So that's a plus. But yeah, if Ottawa was going to go with their original uniforms, I wish they would have gone with the black jersey from the tail end of the 1990s, because at least it had some white striping in it, and I feel it looks a lot better. There is a chance that they could be moving the striping down a bit on the sleeves of the jersey so that the numbers are not in the striping. I think that would actually be a good move as well. But we'll see what Ottawa does. I mean, we know their home jersey has now been leaked. We're just waiting for the official unveil, which Ottawa, hopefully you unveil these at the draft, because basically everybody and their dog knows what you're going to be switching to. But personally, I think this is a good change. I think this will be an upgrade, and I'm happy with it. Now, do I think Ottawa could have done better? Yes. Do I think the prototype logo would have been a great new primary logo for Ottawa? Of course I do. But I definitely feel that this logo is a good choice, and it's going to be a lot better than what they've been wearing. Now, even if they went with a white away jersey with the O instead of a beige one, I think that would have looked really good as well. See, this is what I would have gone with personally, and I know a lot of people don't agree with me. And I understand why. The O is a boring logo, but I feel that this so boring logo, see what I did there, looks really good on these sweaters. And I also think it's a wonderful homage to Ottawa's hockey history. That's also why I've really taken a huge liking to these uniforms. And also, one uniform that I feel has been very underappreciated is Ottawa's NHL 100 Classic alternate uniform that they've now, I assume, retired. It's a beautiful jersey as well, and I'm going to miss it. I'm not going to lie. But one more thing I do want to touch base on, and let me see. You know what? I will pull it up and make this video about 15 minutes long. Why not? I've gone this far. I might as well go the whole 10 yards and get the touchdown. Well, hopefully. Kind of ironic that I use a football reference in a hockey video. But thanks to Mr. Windy City Hockey. Thank you for giving me this little interesting tidbit of information. But notice that the Calgary Flames have quietly reverted back to their retro profile picture logo and their retro backdrop or cover photo. And notice that date, October 5th, with a pair of eyes. You know what that tells me? I'm going to be the first person to say it. Okay, maybe if I'm not the first person to say it, then obviously I'm wrong, eh? But it looks to me like Calgary is going to actually go ahead and go full-time retro. I did hear before that the Calgary Flames supposedly requested to the National Hockey League for permission to wear the retro home and away jerseys for the qualifying round against the Winnipeg Jets. And the National Hockey League denied that, so that's why the Flames wore both their regular home and away jerseys instead of the throwbacks. But I think because the Flames were denied permission to wear the Heritage Classic white throwback as their designated away uniform, I think the Flames probably just said, you know what, screw it. We're going to give our main jerseys one final last hurrah, wear them for the playoffs against in the qualifying round against the Jets, which they won, and then they wore them in the first round against Dallas and lost. And, I think what the Flames did was they basically said, okay, screw it. We'll wear our main uniforms for the playoffs as a final swan song for them after all these years. with the exception of the tweaks they made for the 2017-18 season, of course. And they probably just said to the NHL, okay, we're going to now just request to switch to them full-time next season. So that's what I think happens here. Another thing I want to acknowledge as well is that the Arizona Coyotes are still using their throwback logo as their logo on Twitter as well. So could they be going full-time Kachina for next season? I actually think it's very, very possible that could be the case as well. We'll have to wait and see. So far we've got Buffalo going retro with a bit of a modern twist. We've got what looks to be the Calgary Flames going retro, and it even looks like Ottawa. Well, Ottawa is basically going back and going retro as well. So could we be seeing the Coyotes making that 4 teams going back to old looks? It's very possible. I didn't think this many teams would be going back to old style uniforms in the Adidas era, but lo and behold, it's happening. And honestly, with the exception of the Coyotes, and with a little bit of an exception for the Ottawa Senators, I actually am looking forward to these changes, especially Calgary and Buffalo. I would be shocked if the eye emoji in the October 5th date was anything but an announcement that the Flames have just said, screw it, we're going retro. Now, if their Alberta counterparts, the Edmonton Oilers, would go back to royal blue, then we would be set. But anyways, folks, I've talked for 16 minutes. I'm going to call it a wrap at this point. And one final note, a huge congratulations to the Tampa Bay Lightning for not only winning their first Stanley Cup in 16 years, which coincidentally was against Calgary, which I wish Calgary would have won that Stanley Cup, unlike Tampa Bay. Or instead of Tampa Bay, sorry to you Lightning fans, but I wanted to see a Canadian team raise the cup. I still do. But now fast forward 16 years later to 2020, and the Tampa Bay Lightning have now won their second Stanley Cup in franchise history. So a major congratulations to the Tampa Bay Lightning for that. It's been an incredible run with the NHL resuming the playoffs, or resuming the 2019-20 season, and starting from scratch after COVID-19 shut the entire NHL down. So huge kudos to the NHL and the Tampa Bay Lightning for winning the cup. It's been great watching the playoffs, and now to look forward to the 2020-21 season, and hopefully the beginning of the end of what has been an absolutely awful pandemic. All right, guys, on that note, take care, and as usual, bye for now.